how's it going out there today, everybody? I'm going to be screaming at you because I got the truck running. It is 93 degrees. I'm in Long Beach, California right now. Sitting here getting loaded up, going to Orlando, Florida, with a stop in Atlanta. So that's what we're doing. 2,600 mile weekend run. It's on like Smokey and the Bandit's, all I can say. They want it there Monday. They said they have somebody come in Monday for a couple hours and unload it. The majority of the load's going down to Orlando, so it's on. It's 2,137 miles to Atlanta. 2,137, I believe is what it said when I looked it up. So we're ready to get on that and make that happen. I don't know the weight of the load. They estimate 40, so I don't know. We'll see how it is. I hope it's a little lighter so I can run it a little faster because, yeah, it's Friday afternoon and I got to be there Monday morning. Think about it. But anyway, it's a really good paying run. I'm excited about it. The reason I came to California was for one of these big number runs. And man, there are some really good loads out here right now if you got a reefer. Normally I don't chase good areas, you know, but I just have, you know, there was really no loads coming into California. That's why the rates are looking so good here right now, because your load out ratio is way higher. The load out is way higher than the load in. And that's, you know, I just happened to get a call and they said, hey, you know, good paying load to California just popped up, and I was like, yeah, I don't really think I want it. But then they were like, well, you know, we can really make some, we can really help you out if you do it. And by that, my last load, I didn't have to deliver my last load. I dropped my trailer, I picked up a different trailer, and went and got this load I just delivered done. And it was a short space, good paying load too. So I said, all right, let's just, you know, let's just go for the money grab and go to California. So that's what we did. But let's talk about the past week. This is the weekly recap video. And, sorry, I'm really screaming because the load I'm picking up is -10. So the truck's running, the reefer's screaming. Yeah, it's all good. So this, I ran out of North Carolina this week. I started my week last Friday and I load over on the North Carolina coast. Yeah, and now I'm in Long Beach. So in the past week, I went coast to coast via Minnesota. Yeah, about 3,200 miles getting after it. You know, a lot of these channels on YouTube, if they ran as hard as I did, they wouldn't have time to make as many videos. That's why I didn't put out much this week. But yeah, that was a good paying load from North Carolina. Okay paying load. That load paid $3,000 from North Carolina back to Minnesota. That was a 40,000 pound load of chicken. And it was not a bad run. I got good fuel mileage on that run. The only problem with it was when I got up to like Illinois and Wisconsin and Minnesota, I hit a lot of wind. So that kind of knocked my fuel mileage down a little bit, but overall, not a bad load. On that particular load, I spent $326 on diesel. I spent $77 on reefer, 11 on DELF, and a 12 on a scale. So not a bad money run. Not bad money run at all. And then I was waiting to deliver that load. That was supposed to deliver Tuesday morning, and I took it to the house. And I got a call Monday afternoon that said, hey, you want to go pick up a load, you know, about 50 miles south, and it's going to California. And I was like, yeah, right outside of LA, you know. And I was like, oh man, yeah, I don't know, because when you come down that way, you really got to run 70. You know, it takes too much extra miles to cut 80 or drop down and run, you know, 40. So I was not too enthusiastic on it. 1,800 mile run, and it paid $3,800. So it was over $2 a mile. It did have me intrigued, especially when I was told what the rates they were booking out of here were doing, and I got on the load board and I looked at the load ratio, and I definitely became more open to it. Then I got to thinking about it, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be there on a Friday, holiday weekend, religious holidays coming up. Oh yeah, so I got into it after that. I was like, man, I'm really going to be able to do some damage when Friday rolls around. So I took that load. That gave me $6,800 total revenue for the week. Really good week, but man, what a week. That was some hard running right there. Like coming through Colorado, you know, coming through the mountains, like from Vail to Grand Junction, I was getting winds at like 32 miles an hour. Straight headwinds, straight out of the west. I pulled like 6.25 miles a gallon that day. I ran about 550 something miles that day, basically from like the Colorado state line over to, you know, just into Utah a little bit there. That was a rough day, slow day, burned a lot of fuel, you know, and the load coming down was supposed to have been 41,000. They shorted it a few pallets because they're having some production issues. Ended up being 36,000, and man, I am glad they shorted it 5,000 pounds, because when you're going through the mountains, that extra 5,000 is you know, it's a momentum breaker. You know, it just is. So that load, yeah, 3,800 on that load, 6,800 for the week. That's $212 a mile. I'm going to say 3,200 miles because it was a little less, but by the time I took it to the house and you know, then went back from the house to the yard to drop that trailer to get a different trailer, but it worked out for me because I didn't pay anything to have that load delivered. Normally, if you have a load you're going to drop in the yard and have someone else deliver it, you pay a fee for that if you're, you know, an owner operator. I did not, because they really wanted me to get to California, so they wanted me to take that California load. So, you know, that was kind of the deal. I'll run the California load. I'm not paying a fee to deliver for somebody else to deliver that next load. Really dodged a bullet there because that place takes forever to unload. So I kind of caught a win on that one. So 6,800 to the carrier. That's $54.40 to me, to the truck. It's $1.70 all miles. That's a nice little buffer in there too. I think it was about 3,200. So that puts me in at $1.70 after the carrier gets their cut. Weekly totals, our averages, $1.70 all miles. I would say I was probably like in the low 8s on the miles per gallon, because I did really good after I got through, like, you know, once you get out of Utah, you know, there's those couple rough patches in Arizona and California and Nevada. But, you know, once I got, you know, coming down this way, it got a lot better. So, and from Minnesota down to, you know, where the mountains start, you know, there in Colorado, or, you know, like running Nebraska's good, Iowa's good, you know what, Minnesota's good. So I would say I was probably in the low 8s for the week. I didn't keep very good track of it this week, just basically because I was running hard, you know. So, how that worked out was, let's see, yeah, I'd say about 8.2, about how it worked out. Somewhere in that ballpark. I think I'm still above 8 just because of the fuel cost and the miles I ran. But diesel was $8.26 for the week on diesel. Somebody asked me to do the cost average per gallon. I didn't do that, and I will try to do that more in the future. I would say my average cost per gallon was ballpark, probably like 210, somewhere in there, 215, ballparking it. So I spent $8.26 on diesel, $1.58 on reefer. The chicken load was continuous, and the load down here was continuous. So I burn a little bit more reefer this week than I have been. $35 in DEF, 2 scales for $24. I scaled this load just because of the main reason I done it was because when they said they were taking pallets, they were going to short it some pallets. They had loaded it nose heavy for California, and then they didn't put those on there. So I just wanted to, make sure it was good before I got too far with it. I was way heavy on the drives, really light on the trailer. So that's what that is. So yeah, that makes my total expenses on that part of the business $1,043 this week. That left me $43.97 to do what I have to do with. So another really good week, $4,397. Now, I still have to pay other things out of that, but the reason I give it to you like this, somebody asked me the other day, how much I make after taxes and maintenance and everything. And, the thing of it is, everybody's going to be so different on that. I don't even see a reason to put that number out there. I give you that number, and then you can kind of put your input in after that. Your truck payment, your trailer payment, if you have one, your, whatever. It's all going to be so different. I was doing 10 cents a mile maintenance, but I bumped it up to 15 here lately because it's probably in between 10 and 15. I kind of been rounding up to the next $50 on whatever my 10 cents a mile is for the week. Like this week would have been 3,200 miles, it would have been $320. So I just been rounding it up to like $350. So I just rounded up to the next $50 increment. I'm doing that because I'm pretty much gonna need tires by the fall or the winter if I keep running like this. So that I'm kind of getting ahead on that a little bit. I've priced the tires that I want, and they're not really expensive because I do get a discount here on tires because they order in bulk. So I can just throw my order on top of their normal weekly order, and they'll put them on for me, I'm sure. I had these rotated this week, these drives rotated this week, and I'm hoping that buys me, maybe another month or two. But these tires are just wearing funny. Whoever had the truck before me, I'm pretty sure the drivers were not keeping proper air pressure in them, because the shoulders are wearing really bad, and that's a sign of a tire that's not been inflated properly. And also, what makes me think that is when I got the truck, the first time I went around and checked tire pressures, the drive tires were in between 83 and like 92 psi. And the ones that had the worst worn shoulders were the ones that were down in the 80s. So I've got them juiced up now. Hopefully, we'll be running on the middle tread for a little bit, and that'll buy me a little bit of time. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully that's how that works out, though. That's what I'm banking on. Overall, really, really good week, I would say. Good revenue. Costs were pretty low. They actually rotated the tires at the shop for me for free. Just one of those little perks, I don't know what that would cost if you went to the TA or the Loves and had them do it, but it's part of that give and take on that 20%. When you run hard, they know they're making more money on you, and the guy that owns the company, I feel he appreciates that. And because a lot of the older owner operators here that have paid off trucks and are older guys, a lot of those guys run like 1-2 weeks a month, and then they take off for like a week or two at a time. I think the guys that run a little harder, I think they kind of try to keep you motivated. I've noticed that. So I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off here, guys. That was a good week. I appreciate everybody watching. If you could smash that subscribe button for me, leave me a comment. And until next time, take care of each other out there. Later.